Good morning. Welcome to AM Sports. Here with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. Match 4 of the Ghana Premier League happened on a Sunday, and across many of the centres, there were reported alleged match fixing or match manipulation, as some of the outcome of the matches were considered to be inappropriate. Well, football coach and pundit Nana Ajiman has called on the Ghana Football Association to cancel the entire season because he believes that the league is filthy.
I think a big part of the responsibility lies with the club licensing. It lies with the GFA, because you turn a blind eye to so many things in order to let the league happen, in order to say that we have a Premier League, but really we don't. It's Division 1. It's Division 1 that we have. It's not a Premier League. Every club is suffering from the same thing, a serious inertia. They have no money. They have no will. Nothing is going on correctly. The league is not managed appropriately from day one. And this is where it's taken us to. It's unbelievable that, RTU would go to this length, but it does beg the question, have they done it before with 1 or 2 or 3 players? Because seriously, there is an audacity that one could believe that they could replace 90% of their team and not be found out. It's a serious audacity, but it also speaks to the lack of integrity of our game. It speaks to the lack of integrity of the Premier League and of the rest of the leagues as well, because God knows what happens down there in Division 1, Division 2 for clubs that are seeking, to be promoted. Only God knows what happens. Things have cooled down a bit. The beatings in Division 1s and all those things has come down a bit, but there's so much going on. It's totally unbelievable. But I think the buck stops with the GFA. RTU, well, they're out of the Premier League, and they should be out of association football for a couple of years, 2 or 3 years. Just like, Ashanti Gold. They should be booted out because the league has no integrity. The league has no integrity. And it's not the first year, is it? There's always been an issue, season after season, that questions the league's integrity.
The league has no integrity. That is according to Nana Ajiman. The league ended on Sunday, and on Tuesday, Kumasi Asante Kotoko announced that about 11 players have been released by the club. They include 21-year-old Ibrahim Danlad, who was a standing captain of the team. Let's go through the list of players Kumasi Asante Kotoko has announced that they have been released. You have Carlo Ouattara and Nicolas Osei-Bonsu, Isaac Opon, Augustine Japon, Nicolas Mensah, John Tedeku, Sharif Mohammed, George Mfege, Eric Zeze, Ibrahim Danlad, and Moise Poati. So 2 players who are goalkeepers have been allowed to leave the club, and about 4 of them are defenders. And then there's also Isaac Opon, who is a forward. Now let's hear from head coach of the team, Prosper Nathel Ogum, who has been explaining the reasons behind their decision to part company with as many as 11 players.
Reflect on what went on in terms of player recruitment, in terms of player performance, in terms of player discipline. We need to look at all these things, which, of course, we have already done. We've had a series of meetings on this. We need to do a lot of structural changes in the playing body with respect to signing of some players to come to augment, this time not players from lower divisions, but players who have seen it in the Premier League. So these are basically some of the things that we need to also do. We need to actually go out there as early as possible to make sure that the signings that we want, or the players that we want, we are able to get them as quickly as possible.
Now let's hear from the president of the Ghana Football Association, Kurt Okriku, who has called on Parliament to pay attention when it comes to the investment of football. According to him, the game is lacking financial injection, and he wants Parliament to contribute their quota to the development of the game.
It's a key need area, football funding or sports funding, if I have to be fair a bit. It's a key need area that needs your immediate attention. We speak about Ghana being a football nation. It's time for us to do the do. It is time for us to do the do and to do what will help the sports industry. A few days ago, Thomas Partey, the leader of the Black Stars, spoke about the need for more attention to be given to infrastructure. It is the truth. It's important that we need a charge for better playing surfaces for our footballers. That's the only way they can play quality football and to show what they have. Mr. Speaker, if you don't have good players, excellent playing surfaces doesn't really matter. If you have top talents like we do have in Ghana, they need excellent playing surfaces. And it is a clarion call, Mr. Speaker, I will leave with this House. If we want to be consistent with the top players, we need the basics. The basics include what I have just spoken about.
Meanwhile, the former Minister for Youth and Sports, Nilante van der Poel, has berated the construction of AstroTurfs across the country. According to him, there's no better football pitch constructed that has its foundation been rocks. And he says that for Ghana to be able to get the right pitches for players to develop, they must move away from the construction of AstroTurfs.
Because you don't do AstroTurf with a concrete base. It's never done. Ask all these our players who have played football before, whether they've played on any pitch at all with a concrete base. It's never done. So that is my takeaway from what the president said. If we're going to construct good surfaces for football development, then it must be good surfaces. It must be done well. We shouldn't do them just for political points. We must do them because we want people to develop their talent. To raise some money to take care of our heroes who sometimes have difficulty in sometimes taking care of their own medical expenses. Some of them, they can't even go to the hospital to have checkups.
Last week, the Ghana's Black Challenge paid a courtesy call on the Minister of Youth and Sports after winning the Amputee African Cup of Nations that was staged in Egypt. Well, following the visit, prior to visiting the sports minister, they had gone to see the former president of the country, John Dramani Mahama, who donated $10,000 to the team. Well, the sports minister asked the team to account for the money that they received from the former president and other people who had donated to them. Well, President of Ghana Amputee Football, Samson Dean, he says that they had wanted to visit the sports minister before going to see the former president, but the minister cancelled the appointment.
The blood donation exercise was in collaboration .
We had to move to the former president's office because the players had already been informed way before, 2 weeks ago, that the former president wanted to do a donation to them. And I had denied them that opportunity to go there first. But on this day, there was no way that as a leader of the team, I could say no. That is it. It was highly impossible at that time because the players were all at the office. They knew about this invitation 2 weeks ago. On 2 occasions, they were supposed to go, they were denied. But this day, they were all present. The media were there to move to the ministry. And we had a cancellation of the visit. And at this time, it was very difficult for anybody to say no, they were not supposed to go to the former president. But I do not think the trophy were presented to any other group of persons, with the exception of that of the former president. Noticeably, I think we had written to his office quite a longer time, from 31st of May, since the team arrived.
Now, let's talk about Black Stars striker, Bernard Tekpete. He and the Blood Bank organized a donation exercise, and my colleague Lawrence Bedu has the details of what transpired.
The blood donation exercise was in collaboration with the National Blood Bank. The donation exercise also saw the partnership with the Evelyn Atta Health Foundation, with the event taking place at the Athletic Oval of the University of Ghana on Saturday, June 15. The Ludogorets forward came up with the initiative through the Bernard Tekpete Foundation, which has overseen many projects in recent years as part of his desire to give back to his country. Speaking to Joy Sports, the Black Stars forward explained his rationale behind the exercise.
What led to this initiative? I saw a video circulating on the internet where the later one needed blood. They need blood to save this person going through surgery. So unfortunately, they couldn't get blood to save this person. It got me touched, and then I need to find ways and means to come out with something. So this is when I spoke with the CEO of the National Blood Service to have a collaboration with them to do this initiative to save someone's life. So all we are doing is to make an impact and to save someone's life. This is the most important thing for us.
In attendance at the event were personalities such as Belgium-based Ghanaian footballer David Atanga, as well as Joshua of the Keche fame. Evelyn Atta, who is the CEO of the Evelyn Atta Health Foundation, talked about the need for people to get involved in blood donation exercises more often.
So basically, every individual can donate blood between 3 months. 3 months interval, you can donate blood. When you donate the first one, let's say today, 3 months later, we assume you might have eaten well to replenish the lost nutrients. So by 3 months, you should be able to donate another blood. We need a lot of blood. That is why we encourage that as short as 3 months, individuals should be able to donate.
Tekpete enjoyed an incredible season with Ludogorets during the 2023-2024 season, where he scored 10 goals and registered 5 assists as his side won the Bulgarian League as well as the Domestic Cup.